Wow, what a change from yesterday. Yesterday it was cold. I looked at my computer, we're at 37, 40 degrees already. And it's only 10:20 in the morning. Wow, this is gorgeous. This could stay around. Well, they keep saying we're supposed to be warming up, so wow. So yeah, I'm getting a late start to today. I guess I didn't want to get up this morning. Those days come with the good days too. But, well, we're going to go to the farm and see if we can get that motor and transmission separated. And maybe knock that motor down. And out of another place to store those on the farm. So yeah, can't believe how let's see what the Tahoe says it is. Yeah, I got the plates on my Tahoe, so now I can legally drive it again. Holy cow, it says it's 52 degrees. Wow. And I bet you it's all of it. Everything's melting. So, yeah, this weather, I like a lot. So, all right. I'll go find some breakfast and go get to work, guys. Let's get her done. Well, it's still hanging around here. I just got the starter, the wires, and all that off. That there. Then I look down. Well, boys, what do you think we got again? We got another 39710 block. It could go both ways. Could be a 2-bolt, could be a 4-bolt. It's just too cool if I got another 4-bolt. Let's see, where's the tote? Let's see. Looks like a H, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. It is 8th month, January, February, March, April, May, August 20-something of 1977. So it is a 1978. It is the original motor to that white Camaro. And the way I can double check that here in a little bit, it's right up here. I'll go compare to, yep, the comparative numbers on the block to that, and that will be good. But I did find signs of, I might know why that transmission fluid looks so good. There were some loose bolts in there. So the tranny might have been replaced, I guess. 50-50 chance on it working, but a 350 turbo, that's something I can rebuild. I've done them. Don't like doing them, but yep. Oh, you saying good morning there, babes? Hey, that's oil. You don't want in that. Babes, kitty, say hi. Yeah. Oh, I know you've been mad at me. I forgot something the last couple days, didn't I? Ready, guys? Watch. Ooh, there she goes. She's been looking. I think it's a she. I thought he was a he. I ain't no good at that, but well, it might be an it. Who knows? But anyway, yeah. Now I just gotta get the dust cover off, tranny lines off, and figure out how I'm going to get to that. And well, see where the torque converter bolts are. Wish that motor turned over, because as soon as I separate that, I'm going to have another big bloosh of oil all over the place. Oh no. Uh-oh. Wait a second, don't tell me somebody got away with that. You know, a while back I had that big aluminum tray. Uh-oh. Maybe that's what's been missing that I didn't realize was missing. Ah, boy. I forgot I had that big aluminum fender well out of a U-Haul truck that I've been using for a catch pan. I could put that under that, and I gotta go outside and see if I can find that. Ah, there it is. It was here. It just got buried behind some stuff. Yeah, if you guys want a good idea, anybody knows somebody scrapping out a old U-Haul truck, get the fender well. That's a nice heavy aluminum, if not for anything, was scrap iron, but that works so great to catch this transmission fluid and everything. It's big, you can pour out of it. So just a little note to people, if you want something to catch oil, there you go. So, well, I want to get these tranny lines off, get the dust cover off, and get out the torque converter. Well, I ain't even going to worry about the torque converter bolts until I got the tranny off. So that's not a litter box. Hey, yeah, you're lucky there ain't no oil in there. You'd be having upset paws. So, alright, I have tore hundreds of cars apart over the years working in junkyards and that, old transmissions and everything. But this is the first time I come across an old Camaro like this that had this motor is just covered in spiders. It didn't have the nut bolt. This has got the 3 bolts. The nuts are welded to the torque converter, which I find that odd. And the other thing I'm finding odd is this is a 1970. Oh, that's right. Late 70s they did start putting metric stuff in these cars. But that's a turbo 350. And yeah, I made a mess. Knocked that plug out of the back end of the transmission again. A little more oil. So yeah, I don't understand why this doesn't have the nut and bolt, which is okay, but very interesting. So, and as dirty as the transmission is, you'd say it ran for a while. So I don't know why they would have had the, I don't remember if there's any numbers on there to identify that, to see if that is the original transmission of the car. So I know when I worked in the junkyards ago, guys, we were putting 350s in cars left and right, just boom, 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 boom. So I guess with the motor being tipped all that way, I guess that's where all the fluid out of the torque converter went. I thought I was going to have a big whoosh. I usually do. Well, about the time I would have done this, I would have had another great big oil mess all over the floor. I gotta find something that I am finally oil stain on my floor, driving me nuts. But that's why we work on cars. I'll get some carb cleaner and that, spray the floor, or take some of my mineral spirits and spill it on the floor, take the broom, brush it around, and throw some sawdust on it and soak her up. So, well, I'm going to work at getting this torque converter off and then back into the transmission, and then I got to rearrange a few things, and then the tranny will, actually I might put it over under that bench. I don't know, I got to find a home for the tranny to sit. And yeah, get that thing all cleaned up, and I guess pull the pan off, see, make sure there's no filings or anything in it. There are no filings in it. I'm probably going to just run it the way it is. So I'm not going for a super powerhouse right now, but that'll be, things work out, I'm going to get a special transmission, and I got one motor. I'm just basically putting this thing together to run and have fun with. like I said. So, all right, I'm going to fight these torque converter bolts and see if I can get that out of there. Okay, guys, you got to see this. I wish I would have documented me spraying that PB blaster in the cylinders yesterday. I hope you get. This is right now. The one torque converter bolt here, I just pushed down on it, it come loose. I want you guys to see this. I am freaking out. Watch this. Keep your eye on the flywheel. Here, let's see. What can I do to okay. I want to stick. Okay, watch that piece of paper. I cannot believe this. This motor ain't stuck. This thing is not stuck, boys. No, it's not stuck anymore. When I was trying to turn it over in the car, and it sure as hell won't turn. Like I said, I pushed down, did one torque converter bolt, motor didn't even think about moving. As soon as I started tapping it with that wrench, she rolled. So, this motor is, come on. Now you guys watch where that paper was. Oh my goodness. Come on. Oh, that's why. But anyway, that's a good sign. I almost got a full revolution out of it. A spring just popped off my tool here. Just a second. There, went back together. Or something busted on this damn thing. Huh. That don't make any sense. What the heck? Anyway, that's a good sign. Ah, I just knocked the paper off. Damn it. Why the heck? Well, anyway. Well, I guess it won't make a full revolution. Almost got a full revolution. Well, anyway. Wow. From not turning over to turning over, and all I did is sprayed some PV blaster in there yesterday, about a half can. So, can't wait to get the cylinder heads off and see what we got in there. Might be able to clean that one up and re-ring it and go. I thought I was going to have a stuck piece of shit. I'll be damned. Alright. Well, guys, we'll see what we got here. Yeah, I got it above my head, but before I turn this thing upside down and get all the oil and gunk that was under the oil pan all over, since gravity's working for me here, so okay. Let's see. watch, I'll take a step away and that's when it's going to drop because it's already pulling off the one side. Well, what do you guys think? 2 or 4 volt? And we have a 2 volt. She's a 2 volt this time, boys. No big deal. Cool. And the pan was pretty much empty, so. Hey, you can't win them all. Just a little 2 volt main. Try to run plenty of those in the stock car too, so. Cool. Well, we'll get the flywheel off, get this other motor off the engine stand, and we'll get her on there and let's get this thing knocked down. I didn't think that old intake was going to come off. That bolt there always seems, since it was supposed to heat and it sat there and rust, always seems to shrink its head size. Had to beat on it and that, got it. But she definitely, yeah, I'd say that motor had 132,000 miles, if not more. And she is a typical, no, I bet you that was Pennzoil in this, because that's our very leaky intake like they used to do. Those old cast iron intakes were known for warping. So now we're down to starting to pull the rocker arms, push rods, head bolts, and get the heads off and see which cylinder, or see if there's a chunk of carbon in the cylinder that stopped it from turning over all the way. So, but, yep, about ready to have another one in a broken down pile. And then over there by the door, let's see, there's a set of heads I picked up off the kid for, oh, what was it, 20, 30 bucks. Supposed to be good. Heads are getting hard to find, so I'll get this here. But the cylinder walls in there, what I could see of the cylinder walls, they still got cross hatches in them. And this motor has not been apart. I mean, other than looks like it had the intake and valve cover gaskets done, because that's not factory. Somebody siliconed them instead of putting a gasket in there, just siliconed them on. So yeah, so I guess we'll get the heads off this and see what we got. All right, be back. I want to show you you guys this DC 821 half-inch heavy-duty 18-volt impact driver. I have not cracked these loose. The crap is still on them. They haven't been touched. But watch this, with an extension even. Not bad for a cordless tool. And I do believe this thing had Pennzoil. Come on, let go of it. Thank you. I mean, there is so much crap in there, I can't even see the bolt there. There, in real time, all but 2 bolts. We just broke that loose with this little DeWalt half-inch drive. She's a good one. This little guy, this little 14.4, is one I built. He done real good with the rocker arms. I wouldn't try the head bolts with him, but so. All right, I'm gonna get that bolt cleaned out so I can get to it. And we'll pull this out. Here's what I found on the other side. There's a little bit of a mouse nest or so. So, not really sure why I wouldn't. Ooh, that feels good. No ring ridge I can feel there with the glove. So, we might be able to get by with this one and hone her up, take her in, have her cleaned and crack checked, make sure it ain't broke. Might be able to get by with rings and bearings on this one. Be nice. And put this motor back in a Camaro. Be real close to being a numbers match car. Unfortunately, my car was a 305 factory, so. Alrighty. It was the number 4 cylinder that was keeping it from rotating, and I think it had something to do with that damn thing. The mouse had started making a nest in that cylinder. I'm like, really? But she is a rotating assembly again. I don't know if I can do this one-handed. Not quite. But it does roll over. The heads ain't ever been off this, because usually when the heads come off, Velcro or something other kind of gasket went in. It's still got the original metal shim gaskets. So, yep. But I do believe, being the age of the car, I believe she was a Pennzoil motor. So, after taking my burry brush to the cylinder and cleaning it up, I'm just going to burry brush these cylinders up, because after cleaning that, I'll check it with the rings and that, and have them put a dial bore gauge in there. I think we're just going to re-ring this bitch, because I want it to be a little loose, because I want to have fun with it. When I stand on the throttle, I want it to go. And oh, I'm shorting, sorry. And we can get this going and have some fun. But I thought I'd show you a little test with that DeWalt impact. There the guy is. I'll show you a full without a rag wrapped around him right there. That little guy right there just undid all the head bolts on this thing. So yeah, but I can't even get the fuel pump rod out. I mean, there is so much gunk inside this motor. I'm surprised the cylinders aren't chewed up. Yeah, that's carbon ridge in there. I mean, she is in a lot better prospects of doing this as a cheap throw together, get the car moving, running stuff. So I had a pair of 882 heads on it. I mean, the heads actually don't look bad. The car says 32,000 miles. When I seen the cylinders, I thought, well, you know, maybe. Even if I have to board, I ain't gonna worry. If it stays standard, this is kind of a throw together, run, and have fun. That one there, I might put some 12.5 high duty pistons in it with the 882 heads, put 202 valves in them, and see if I can duplicate the motor that I had years ago, now that I got a camcorder nowadays, and see if I can take that motor over 10,500 RPMs again. I've done that 3 times for sure, maybe 4, over 10 grand, and everybody that could hear it, I never got to hear the sound, but everybody says after that motor cleared 10 grand, it was just something else. Sound that everybody said they never heard. So I've done it before. I'm going to see if I can do it again. So if she goes, she goes. If she don't, it's really going to be going. So, alrighty. I guess I'll roll this thing upside down. Start stamping the rods, because the rods have not been stamped yet. So that tells me nobody's been in there yet. So I guess I'm having fun working on my motors. Just get a few dollars in to get the parts, and I got thinking I get the 2 newer style motors and these motors done. Got a couple of lead on a couple of more older motors. I could start doing how I'm starting to do like I did years ago. At one time I had 150, 200 small block Chevys laying around this farm. Yeah, I know. And I had some cars that I should have crushed. Like the 75 Malibu Classic I had with the sunroof, buckets, console, tack, the SS stripes. There was a 454 with a 400 turbo with a good rear end in it. Yeah, I know. And there were some other Monte Carlo. Oh yeah, I crushed stuff. Got tired of thieves coming around stealing everything, so they wouldn't pay me for it. They were stealing it, so I crushed it all. So if I had those cars sitting here now, I wouldn't have any money troubles, because they would have parts that people are looking for that I can name a price and get it. So, but oh well, can't win them all. All right. I might have found one reason that they stopped driving hers, and probably that contributed to the oil problem in here. See how the rings are lined up? I did not put them that way. That's how they come out of cylinder number 7. That is a compression leak and potential problem. But what I'm amazed is I really don't know how many miles are on that car, because what I can't believe is that is the old plastic, or whatever they made that out of, original timing chain in this motor. You know, if that was gunking up like that from Pennzoil, I could see that. But to have that original plastic timing chain in there, I'm really questioning how many miles were on that car. The odometer says 32,000, but I know those plastic chains did not make it to 100,000 miles. It was almost impossible to get 100,000 miles out of those. So, yep, she's looking good so far. In the crank, I mean, no marks as long as they weren't underside. Oh, the guy, that is just, might get by with just rings and bearings in this one. Yeah, I think I want to change it to flat top pistons. So I'll put because I can get the whole engine kit for 150 bucks, and I'll just get a whole new standard engine kit, and as long as that, so put some flat tops in there, bump the compression up a little bit, put a bigger cam in it. Yeah. So for a motor that was stuck yesterday, I just don't see any real reason why it was stuck, but well, that mouse had made a nest, and like I said, I bury brushed that cylinder, but you got the piston down past where the marks were, and run the bury brusher on in there with a little WD-40 on it, cut that shit right out, and I think like I said, I'm going to bury brush all the cylinders, so that way if it is okay, and after they run it through the hot tank, I don't have to wash it off when I bring it home. So that way all the bury brushing is done, and she's ready to go back together. So all right, we'll get the timing chain off and get the crank out of it and see what the mains tell us for a story, and see if we can wiggle that camshaft out. All right, did anybody see a problem there? It's round. Typical old GM camshaft. She rounded off. That valve couldn't have been opening worth shit. This one was going. They're almost gone too. Yep. 2 or 3 lobes gone. That would make her run like crap. I wanted to show you guys that. She wouldn't have been a motor to just take and throw in. You'd still have to do some work to her. Alright, let's get that crankshaft out. Well, I done it. Cylinders don't look too bad now. I took my bury brush and glaze breaker to it. That way I take her and get her cleaned, and that I'm just going to get her hot tanked, crack check, make sure it ain't broke. I'm just going to go back together with standard pistons. So that means I'm going to come up with a engine kit for standard, And there is a little bit of ring ridge, and I do have a cutter. I might go ahead and cut that out. I should take one of the rings off the old pistons, check ring gaps and all the cylinders up and down, make sure they're fairly straight. And it's none of the, only one ring was broken. That might have broke when I pushed it out. Otherwise none of the rings were on this one was broke. So I'm thinking about just taking this stuff in, since it was full of antifreeze and oil and everything. It's just like I needed. If the mouse wasn't in there, and there was 3 cylinders that had rust in, that started the rust, that had her locked up. You could have thrown plugs in this and got a good carburetor on there. Damn thing would have started. Wouldn't run the greatest, as we've seen with the camshaft and the rings and all that, but it would have started. So yep, and I got the lifters pushed out, and I just got to roll her over and take my old cam bearing thing that I made and drive the old cam bearings out, get rid of them, and then pull all the plugs and everything, and get her in, get her hot tanked and clean, and tell them do not bore it. I just want it cleaned up, and we're going to put together an old style motor that I used to do for the race car. Yeah, she might smoke a little, but who cares? We want it to run hard. So, and this way, if I leave it standard, and when I wear it out, then I can bore it 30 or 40 or whatever it takes to fix it then. This way I get more uses out of the block, as long as it doesn't grenade. So, and then thus it's going to be running, and yeah. But I think in the back of my mind, I'm going to start searching for motors and start picking them up again. Start bringing them out here. Maybe put up, I got rafters laying around here for a couple of buildings. If I don't do something with them this year, I just will burn them. Maybe I'm going to have to add either onto here or just build another shop and start tearing down motors, get them organized and have them around. Because last time I took in 22 or 26 motors to a machine shop, they bought them all. Only one of them was so bad that they didn't even want it. So, which out of that, and at that time, that was damn good money. If I would have been thinking then, I would have had a motor for the Camaro a long time ago, because the money I got out of that stuff for cores, yeah, I'd like to keep doing that every day, or once a week. Hell, once a week would have been more than enough. So that's a lot of motors, and that's a lot of bolts, and lots of this, lots of that. So, but anyway, yeah. Now I bury brush that. I'm just basically down to, if it was warmer out and I had a cement slab and running water out here, I would do this motor exactly like I used to years ago. I would get a can of Easy Off, or a few cans of Easy Off oven cleaner, soak this sucker down, scrub it up. I got my engine brush cleaning set, just clean this thing from one end to another, then use the garden hose, power wash it off, and if it needed it again, easy off it until it was clean. Wash her up, and then just put her back together. But by the time you buy all that materials and everything and all the water, just will take it in and have it professionally cleaned and be done with it. So, alrighty, well, I don't know if I'll add any more to this today or not. I'm just kind of bored, and I guess I really should go to the shop in town now and do something there. I don't know what, but anyway, well, here's the teardown of the 1978 LT type Camaro's motor. So hopefully here soon we'll have her running. Like I said, I am going to change out the pistons and go to a flat top. I do want to do that. So get just a little bit more compression. Alright guys, we'll stay tuned and we'll see what we can do with these 350s, and see if I can gather up some 400s and see what kind of trouble we can get into with some motors around here. So All right. Thanks for watching. Take care. Take her easy.